Hello everyone, thanks for joining us today for another episode of Language Tips. In this video, we continue talking about modal verbs, and specifically we focus on modal verbs of obligation: must, have to, should, and ought to. Must and have to express strong obligation, and they're quite similar if we use them in positive sentences. The main difference is in the idea of where the obligation comes from. So if we're talking about rules, regulations, or laws, we should use have to. Someone might say he has to wear a uniform at work. That's the regulation. Or you have to have your passport when you travel abroad. It's the law. Must, on the other hand, describes something that comes from the speaker. So it's the speaker's opinion that something is necessary or obligatory. Your doctor might say, you must lose some weight. It's the doctor's opinion. Or your teacher might tell you, you must do your homework. Again, it's the teacher's opinion. But be careful, these verbs are similar if we use them in a positive sentence. But if we use them in a negative sentence, their meaning is quite different. When someone says, you don't have to wear a suit and tie in this restaurant, it basically means there is no obligation. The choice is yours. You can do so, but you don't have to. Also, if a friend says, you don't have to come to practice tomorrow, it's up to you. You can come, but you don't have to. Mustn't describes a different idea. Mustn't describes the idea of negative obligation or prohibition. So if you hear someone saying, you mustn't park your car here, it means it's not allowed. Or you mustn't use this computer. Again, it's not allowed. Should and ought to are the remaining two verbs, and they describe weak obligation, or rather than that, it's someone's recommendation. What is the correct thing to do? When someone says, you should run this past your boss first, it's not specifically a rule, but it's a good idea and friendly advice to do that. Or you can also say you ought to run this past your boss first. The meaning is the same with the slight difference in a way that ought to is less commonly used. It's a more formal verb and a bit old sounding, so we use should much more often. I hope you found this little selection useful. If you enjoyed our video, click on the like button below or share the video with someone else who might find it useful. If you have any questions, we would love to hear what you think. For more reference on this topic and other useful language, you can always visit our website. And of course, tune in next week for more language tips. Bye for now.